Here's how I built an entire laundry room in my parents' downstairs basement from scratch. So they just remodeled the basement and they had a gigantic bathroom down there, but they also wanted to add a laundry room in there. So it was close to the pool and they can wash pool towels. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to create an accent wall, and I did this with some beadboard from Home Depot, and I nailed it into the wall, and I cut out a hole for the outlet to go in, and I placed a ledge on the top. I filled in my nail holes, and I got out some caulk to caulk around all those little edges and, those little mishaps that we have whenever we DIY. And I wipe them back with a baby wipe, and that's actually a little hint that I do, and it makes it really, really clean. Then I got the color oyster and salt water from the Silk range, and I mixed them together to get the closest paint match to the wall. And another tip is to write the paint color on the back of the outlet cover. That way you always know what paint you used. Honestly, it's a brilliant, brilliant tip. So when that was done, I got a new washing machine. This is an LG it's a washer and dryer combo in one. It's so brilliant. I already did a video on this. And then I went to Home Depot and got some pre-made cabinets. These are the Hampton Bay cabinets, and they are so good. And I think they're very affordable for the quality. And if you want to build anything like this, these are just my go-to. So I also got a birch worktop from there, and this is the 4-foot long one. So I placed it on top of the cabinet, and I actually inserted it by some liquid nails, and I nailed it in from underneath. I just forgot to film that, sorry guys. And this is how it looked. So that little gap on the side is actually gonna be where my laundry basket goes, and then this will be my foldable area on top. And look how flippin' pretty this worktop is. So moving on. Next thing is I wanted to screw it into the wall so it was nice and sturdy. I did this by anchors and screws, and then I added in the shelves that it came with. For the other really flippin' big cabinet, I mean, you can see my face here. I was like, this is so hard to open. It was a super tall pre-made cabinet, also from Home Depot. And I needed my dad's help for this because it was going to fall over and crush me. I'm only 5'2", guys. Okay, so this was kind of big. So I also did the same thing. I made sure that I wanted this in the exact space, and I added in the inside shelves. And these cabinets are actually kitchen cabinets too, so you can use them for all cool DIY projects. The next thing I did is I wanted to make a custom shelf. So I went to Home Depot and I got some wood, and I measured from side to side, and I cut down the exact length of this wood. This is a 1x6. And always use your safety goggles, guys. Safety first. Then I sanded down, and I used Dixiebelle wax in brown, and this is what I use to age wood. I literally just buff it in, and it works that simple. And you can see the before, and that's the after, like so much better when it's aged. And also do the lip of the shelf, because you will be seeing this when you install it. And also on those little wooden corbels that I got. And I couldn't believe these were like less than $2 at Home Depot. They were such a bargain. Next, I used Gorilla Glue to attach those corbels on for extra support. And once I got all of them on there, I evenly spaced them out to make sure a tension rod would fit in between. Then when they were dry, I used a screw, and I screwed them in from the top for extra super duty support too. Then that curtain rod I was talking about, I spray painted it in gold, and when it was dried, I also spray painted it in a top coat so it wouldn't scratch when I added hangers onto this. And then I put it on. Next, I let that dry, and I added some trim around the base of the cabinets so they looked built in. And this is so easy to do. I just bought some normal white trim from Home Depot, and then I caulked around the edges. And caulking is literally my best friend, because whenever you make a little teeny mistake, you just use caulk to hide it. And I know lots of DIYers do this. So if you say you don't do this and your cuts are always perfect, I don't believe you, because we all love caulk. Okay, we all love caulk. Next thing is this incredible wallpaper. It's so beautiful. This is also from Home Depot. And I wanted a cool, I think it's called toil pattern, which is a beautiful vintage vibe. And this is pre-pasted wallpaper. So all I did was I sprayed water on the back of it, and then I pasted it onto the wall. And this is a lot messier of a technique that I do when I apply wallpaper, instead of dunking it into those gallons of water, and the water just gets everywhere and it's so gross. But at the end, I mean, y'all, look how beautiful this pattern is. 10 out of 10. Then I went to measure the shelf, and it fit just like a glove. And with these shelves, I didn't want it to hold too much weight, but at least a couple shirts. So I installed it with some anchors and screws and support brackets right into the drywall and right into the studs. That way it had some extra support. Then moving on to the cabinets, I used a hardware jig, and y'all, this is a life flippin' saver when it comes to getting accurate and straight hardware holes. And you can measure it by the size of the hardware. It's so brilliant. I drilled in holes and I attached these gold ones, and I think they fit the laundry room perfectly. So moving on, I sealed the new birch worktop with some brown wax as well, and I want it to look dirty and old and antique-y. I put in my laundry basket in the cabinet. I added in my little hangers and decorated the shelf with pictures. And we always need a cute little jar for our pods. And my favorite thing, I collect old pharmaceutical bottles from like the early 1900s to decor. And this is the final result. I made sure to do this build super easy and beginner friendly, and I hope this is something you can achieve yourself. What do you think? I love it.